How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Manor Lords, and welcome back to Nerdenfeld. Things could be going better. We are still sitting with just 2 months worth of food, and it's getting to be a major problem. So right away, I'm going to pause the game, and we're going to go into damage control mode, because I have a few ideas for how we can fix this and put this saga, this food shortage saga behind us once and for all. Now, if we look into construction, we have 378 planks sitting around right now. We're not really using those for much. And if I was to go to my trading post, we can take a look and we can see that if I wanted to, I can sell planks for 2 gold each. That's not much, but 2 gold each is definitely better than nothing. But I could, if I wanted to, go into my military tab here, and we could sell war bows for 5 gold each. And war bows just happen to be made from planks, so that might not be a bad idea. And we can't afford to get this route, but I think what I'm gonna do is actually get the small shields route, because we have got 48 of those sitting around. They're worth 5 each, both war bows and shields, and we're not using the small shields. So we're gonna go ahead and buy this route. We're gonna establish it, and we're gonna export all of the small shields. We're not going to have any in surplus, and that's going to give us a nice source of gold. But then I want to go over here and I want to start importing things, because we do also happen to need some food to solve the food crisis. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just look at all of them, to be quite honest. I think we'll start with bread. It is the most expensive out of all of them, but we're going to start with bread. We're going to look to import it, and we're going to aim for a surplus of 100. So if we have 100 bread in storage, we're not going to bring any in here, is what I think that means. That would be 1,400 gold, which is a lot. That's a lot of gold, but I'm hoping that we can make this work. And I have a few ideas for how we're also going to get some money in here. But I think what I can also do at some point, once we get the money, is also export the war bows. For now, the small shields would be a great way to do this, but in future, I want to do the war bows as well. We could look at construction materials, we could look at stone, we could look at planks, but again, they're going to be going towards the manufacturing of the war bows. And then when it comes to materials, I don't really think there's too much in here we want to worry about either. We have firewood. We have 1,842 firewood. If I wanted to, I could limit this. You can go up to 999 on the surplus, but I think the firewood's something to keep nicely in surplus as well. So that's going to be sort of step 1 of this little process. And then step 2 of this process is that I want to go in here and basically lay out a bunch more farms. We do have a lot of fertility around here. We have got emmer fertility sort of down this way. We have it down here as well. We have it going sort of up through this forest, and we have some up here, but we also have rye fertility, which I think is what I'm going to focus on. So we have all of these different spaces to play with. That's basically what I'm going to do, is I'm going to try and play around with all of these different spaces and just get ourselves a few farms. I'm going to be a little bit less picky with how I lay out the roads. I'm still going to do these curves, and I'm still going to try and get them to look interesting, but I'm going to go for much sort of longer curvy sections so that we're not spending forever just laying out the roads, which doesn't really matter. We also have this road coming through here, which is absolutely fantastic because that space is also relatively fertile. This little bit isn't, which is totally fine, and it's not really good for anything. So I think what I might do is bring a road sort of off here, and we'll go relatively straight with this. We'll curve it a little bit this way, and this could maybe be a space for some burgage plots, which would be good for the people that work out here. So we'll bring the road to this spot. We'll bring it straight up to here, to a nice straight line like that. And then I think we'll also split this space so that we have 2 farms down here instead of 1. Actually, you know what? I like the idea of 1 big one. Let's have a look and see what we can do with 1 big rye farm right here. Can I go from this corner to that corner? I want to go up to this corner as well, and I want to come down to somewhere in this space. I don't think it's necessarily going to let me. I can do that though, and I can do that, and it isn't going to let me build it, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame. I was really hoping I could get away with it, but apparently not. Okay. It might be the terrain that's causing some problems. I'll tell you what we'll do instead. Let me go to this spot. Although this bit's kind of the fertile spot. So let me go to like this, and let me see if this is going to be possible if we bring this around. That absolutely is possible. 6.7 Morgan is huge, but you know what? I'm here for it. Let's go ahead and build that, and let's get you set up with rye fertility. We're going to rotate the crops around. We're going to go rye, and we're going to go, I guess we'll do rye, then we'll do fallow, then we'll do wheat, and that should be okay. I think that'll be a decent little spread there. Like I said, this space can be for buildings and things like that, because these spaces down here are also going to be, well, this one is going to be for rye as well. So we'll sort of bring this guy around. This one is, I guess, going to be for rye as well. We're kind of going all in on bread production, really, is my goal here. So we'll get those built. We're going to do, so this one is year 1. This one can be year 2. So we're going to do fallow into rye, and I guess into wheat afterwards. I guess that's kind of what we'll do. Let me set you to fallow there. So we'll do rye into wheat into fallow. We'll do fallow into rye into wheat. Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. What way do I want to do this? That'll be fine. So year 2 doesn't currently have a field that's going to be fallow. So we'll do, we'll just shake this one up. We'll just do rye into fallow into wheat, and that should be totally okay. So that's 3 new fields. That's a space for more burgage plots or more production, whatever we happen to want. And we have all this room over here that we can play with as well. But I did mention that I want to do, you know, obviously a lot of trade stuff. So that's kind of where my army is going to come into play, because we do have some bandit camps over here, and we can go to these bandit camps, we can take them apart, and we can get some money for doing that. So let me go to my armies. Let me select all 3 of them. Let me rally them, and we're going to bring them just down to here, and we'll speed things up a little bit as we do this. And hopefully we don't get attacked in the process. If bad guys happen to show up while we're doing this, we might be in some serious trouble, but we're going to try our best and see what happens here. I'm also thinking we want to get a pretty decent layout for my soldiers. So we'll get the archers right here, which is perfect. We'll get my spear militia just in front of them. We'll go for something a little bit like this. And we'll get the other spear militia. I mean, realistically, I'm kind of just setting these guys to attack everything all at once. I'm not being too tactical with my layouts, but having the archers at the back, I think, is a good call. In fact, having the archers lined up in sort of single file might be a really good call here, because what we can do is have them sort of shoot around my guys, and that might be a really good move. So let's have the archers sort of line up like this, and then we'll select everybody. And what we can do is we can alt-click down here somewhere, and we can hopefully lure these guys out before things get too crazy. Now, there is a giant forest between me and the bad guys. So what we'll do is sort of click about here, and I'm hoping that I can get in there before the bandits happen to notice that I'm coming through. Because if I can do that, what I can do is take over this camp and get a good bit of money from it. That money can go into Nerdenfeld's treasury, and then we can use that once again for trading. And you do get good money for taking over bandit camps. And there we go. We actually have got the bandits coming out to us, which is a bit of a problem because it's only my archers that seem to be up here right now. But we should be able to deal with that. It looks like my spear militia will get there before the bandits can do too much to my troops, and it shouldn't be long before those bandits start to run away, which they absolutely are. So let's head over to the bandit camp, and we should happen to get ourselves a really, really good amount of money from this, if I'm not mistaken. I think everybody needs to be here. I don't remember exactly how this works, but I think there we go. So we have a new message. When searching through the enemy belongings, you find a stash of goods. They could be sent to your people, who surely need them, though it is your right to keep it. We're going to send it to the nearest town, and that means that we're giving 107 regional wealth to Nerdenfeld. And I think there might be a bug in the game, at least there was when I did this before, where sometimes, yeah, it doubles, so you get another 107, so we're at 225 regional wealth right now. I'm not going to lie, I'm absolutely going to use and abuse that to for my own personal gain, because at this point, there's not a whole lot of reason not to. It's not something I can control. If I'm taking over a camp, it's going to pay me twice. That's kind of just how it is. So what we'll do, I'm actually going to set all my guys to not run. Actually, no, they can run to their positions. Oh my God, they're quick. Good Lord. Okay, it turns out my spear militia weren't set up to run. And now that they're fast. They're really, really fast. That's ridiculous. Okay. Well, let's line them up here so that they're nicely in position. And then we'll get my archers to, once again, sort of line up behind them, since I think that'll be a really, really good little spread for us there in terms of tactics. We do actually have these bandits coming down already, so it shouldn't take too long before we can clear them out. We should have the archers firing already, which we do. My spearmen are just going to sort of wait and chill. And really, it doesn't look like it's going to be that long at all before these guys are dealt with. There we go. They're running away again. That is exactly what we're looking for. Let's go ahead and move into this camp and take it over. And it's going to be another, hopefully, 200 gold to the Nerdenfeld treasury. And I'm not thinking I'm going to go around and take over all the bandit camps, but I am going to take this one. It's going to go straight to the nearest town, 382. So it's going to double again. So we're getting plus 300 for that particular raid. So let's come back to town. We'll send my soldiers to here so that I can return them to their civilian lives. And that should put us in a spot where we, 539 regional wealth. So we absolutely can do a few things here. We're going to go into military. We're going to get ourselves that warbows route and get that established. We're going to export those. We're going to say that I probably do want a surplus of 36 of those so that at any time I can get myself another militia. That seems like it would be a really good idea. I could do the same with large shields as well. In fact, thinking about it, it might be a better idea to get this route and set this to export as well. I think that's maybe what we do here is we get that route, we set these to export, we hold a surplus of 36. So again, we can have that surplus there and we can do okay. I think, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Let's get ourselves this. Let's export these guys with a surplus of 36. I don't even know if we're making those right now, to be quite honest with you, but we'll see. So the joiner is disabled. That's fine. I can upgrade you to level 3 as well. Let me pause here for a second. So have we met all of the demands of some of these guys? Do I not need gambesons or helmets? Do I not need this stuff, the armaments? Oh my God. I've been under the illusion that I did this entire time. Okay. That changes everything. Okay. Upgrade you to level 3. Upgrade you to level 3. And upgrade you to level 3. This one actually kind of just grew in size really, really quickly. So this is huge because this means that we can upgrade to a small town, which means I can get myself irrigation so that droughts aren't a problem. Or I could get myself a heavy plow, which means my farms are going to be so much faster. Okay. I'm really happy about this. I'm really, really happy about this. That is going to be huge. I think we don't really need to prioritize construction right now. I think we're okay on that front. And I also want to test a little something because I saw somewhere that apparently when you upgrade houses, it also gives you an extra slot for people to live. So if I look at these level 2 burgage plots and I look at people, yeah, there's only one residing family in a level 2 burgage plot. I've seen a couple of people mentioning that you can get 2 families in a level 2 plot, but it really doesn't seem that way. So we're not going to worry too much about it. I'm just gonna focus on getting these built. Really, that's kind of my goal. Not really interested in. Wait, why can't I upgrade the brewery? So requirements not met. Is it because these guys? I guess these guys maybe did. How did I upgrade these? I'm so confused. How can I? You know what? We're not going to worry about it. We're not going to worry about it. We're getting level 3 burgage plots. That is huge. That is great. It means I can upgrade. You guys are finally making your way back, which is great news as well. So let's get you all disbanded now that you're coming back into your own turf. They can all go back to their own lives, which is great news. These farms are being worked, which is fine. These are going to be worked. That's all right. I'm not really too worried about the farmers coming down here and doing that. And we are down to 193 regional wealth, but I mean, we're getting the level 3 plots, so I'm feeling a little bit happier about this. We also have a few people that are unassigned, so I'm going to put another couple to work in the trading post because I think that's going to be useful for us. We can also get another horse. I've got no idea really what that does for us, but I will get us another horse because I figure we might as well. We can also assign livestock to this thing permanently, which I will do one and see how that goes. I would imagine that's just livestock to sort of haul everything in. So we'll see how that plays out. And we'll see what happens. When it comes to everything else, I mean, realistically, I should probably get this perk to limit the cost of trade routes to 25 gold, but we kind of need irrigation. Droughts are a major, major problem when they come through. And as I've said before, you don't really get a notification that they're coming through. So you do need to be really, really careful. But we're about to have a level 3 burgage plot, and they are so good. Look at this. It's so good looking. I absolutely adore it. And that is our first of 3, which is going to let us upgrade. It's going to let us upgrade. It's going to let us get irrigation. And then from there, I think I need to get myself, wait, a new family moved in. Do we now have 2 families? Oh, so level 3 burgage plots give you space for 2 families. Okay. I'm okay with that. That's another really worthwhile upgrade to your burgage plots. That is kind of huge. I'm actually very, very much okay with that. And I also love the little archway between them. That's so good. Wait, a fire broke out. Hold on a minute. What? Oh my God. How did this happen? Wait, how did a fire? Oh God. All right. Well, they're gonna have to rebuild that. That's fine. That's totally okay. Oh, look at these. I'm so happy with this. I'm so happy with this. Can you guys, finish this, please? Because I really need that joiner to get back to work. I'm not gonna lie. We've also got these guys are a little bit unhappy, I guess, because food supplies are terrible, which makes sense. The food supplies are gonna be terrible, but the idea is that we're gonna end up with hopefully a good amount of money from all of these trades that we're doing so that we can just buy food. That's sort of the goal there. I've also noticed that we are set up to export dyes. It just doesn't really seem to be a thing that we're doing. So hopefully we can get that going. Maybe that's why we want the dedicated horse. I've honestly got no idea. It maybe doesn't matter, but hopefully we can figure that out, and hopefully we can get some more money coming in here. We are, admittedly, we're running out of food, but we're at 269 regional wealth. If we have a look at our trade routes for food and we have a look at the import one, we aren't actually sitting with we don't have a dedicated trader for the food line. So I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's get a dedicated trade route for the food line, and we should have someone coming through here shortly. And I think what I'll also do is maybe get one for meat or for eggs or for something that's cheap. I mean, we are getting meat and eggs and vegetables. But I guess the goal is that we start producing enough of these that we don't need to import them. But I might, well, you know what? We'll keep the dedicated trade route is what we'll do. We'll keep the dedicated trade route, and we'll see what happens with the bread situation, see how that goes. At the very least, I would really like this. Wait, construction paused. Why? Get that built. I don't know why or what possessed me to pause constructing that, but if we can get this thing finished, that is going to let me level up, and that is going to be huge. So if you wouldn't mind, buddy, that would be kind of fantastic. Now, I've mentioned and we've built all of these fields and all these different things. We have these upgrades going through, which is great as well. We have this field in fallow this year. This one's going to be rye. This one's going to be rye as well. That's okay. We are going to need more farmhouses, I think. I think that's potentially going to help us out, is getting more farmhouses in here. And we can, at that point, like say we build a farmhouse down here, we can assign it to cover this area. And that might be a good idea for this cluster of fields, so that these farmers aren't crossing the map to, plant everything and work the fields. That might work out for us, but I'm kind of willing to just wait and see what happens. I'm kind of willing to be patient and see how it goes. We have, at the very least, actually upgraded now. So, oh, the heavy plow is so tempting. It is so tempting because it's going to make things so efficient, but the risk of drought is so, it's huge, man. We need irrigation. It's huge. The risk is too high. If we can get another 7 level 3 plots, we can get the heavy plow. And I think the farming speciality is kind of what we're going to focus on here. So That's hopefully going to keep us good. That's hopefully going to keep us in a good place. I don't think I need to do any upgrades. I think it's just sort of a general thing that the risk or the impact of drought is now considerably less. So we'll see what happens. If we look at our supplies, we're sitting on a decent amount of grain and flour. Not as much as I'd like, but still a decent-ish amount. And hopefully we can start to, or continue to, turn all of that into more things. We do have people working in here, which is great. We have people working in the granaries, which is great. The more people we can get, the better it's going to be. And hopefully we can just get more things moving around and get more food production going. We do at the very least have 2 months supply in December. And we do have a lot of flour and a lot of grain. So that's going to turn into a lot of bread. So here's hoping for the best. At the very least, let's go to the joiner and make sure you're doing what I want you doing. So you are going to be working on those large shields, which is fantastic. And then those can go out to export once we have 36 of them in stock. We'll do the same thing with the Fletcher. You're currently paused. We can get you working on things as well. And then if we look at our supplies, 424 planks is amazing news. We have these logging camps, which are doing pretty good as well. But honestly, there's only one person working in that logging camp, and there is one person working in this logging camp. So if we wanted to, we can probably go ahead and get more people working in these, and then turn that around into more people working at the saw pit, wherever that happens to be. For the life of me, I think it's this. Yeah. So we have 2 people working in here. There is no construction reserve. Let's bring that up to maybe 15 just to be safe. And that's good. That's hopefully going to turn into, like I said, a bit more money as we start to export the bows and the shields and the dyes, and we can turn that into bread, which we can hopefully import. And I mean, if we look in here, do we have someone on the way? We do. So that's good. You are actually on the way, hopefully with some bread that I can, I don't know, hopefully purchase. I'm assuming that's probably a trader behind you as well. And so as you get to the trade post, I would imagine you're probably not going to do anything because I don't have money to buy bread, but it's a start. It's okay. We're up to 102 bread as well. So we actually have got a surplus, or at least we've got above what we would need for the trader to work. So we're doing okay there. 113 and climbing bread. We got a lot of flour in storage. I don't know if it's going to be enough to see us through the spring and summer months, but at the very least, we're hopefully going to be okay. I'm also not really wanting to expand my population too much right now, because again, the food problem is a problem. So I'm kind of wondering what else I can do, and it seems to be a gold situation. If I can get more gold, I might be able to upgrade this to a level 3 burgage plot. And if I can upgrade more of these to level 3, I mean, that is going to expand the population, but it's going to do it in a way that, you know, I don't have to take over more land, right? That's kind of what I'm looking for. Anyway, I want to come away from this for a bit, and I want to start looking down here because I did leave this space open for a reason. And what I'm thinking we're going to do is we're going to go into construction. We're going to get ourselves a farmhouse, and this land is not particularly fertile, so we can build ourselves a farmhouse back here. We can build it up here. I think reasonably what I'll do is turn off road snapping, rotate this guy around, and I think we'll just sort of slap it right about here somewhere. I could just put it in the middle of the plot actually and bring a road out to it, which I think is what I'm gonna do. That seems like the easiest way to do this, or I could put it right in the corner, but I think we'll put it right in the middle just because it's a little bit easier. And then we'll get ourselves a road that connects just a little something like that. We'll get one that connects from here sort of to that little intersection because I can, and we can get one from here that connects straight down to there because I can, and it just makes it look nicely connected together. And hopefully that's going to be good for everybody involved. I think what I might do as well is get myself a road that runs behind this, just a nice sort of straight line, because I think getting some store, well, maybe not a storehouse, but a granary back here might be a good idea. I don't know if it's necessary, but I think we might go for it anyway. Just put a little granary at the back of this, unless I can put it in front of it. That'd be kind of nice if I could get it in this little space. I doubt it, but oh, hold on a minute. There is a spot. There we go. I think that's gonna look good. I do. I think that's a good little space for a granary, and then maybe this space back here does get used for some extra burgage plots, which in fairness we are going to need, because we do need people to work at this farmhouse. So I'll tell you what, let's, oh, do I want to do this? Do I want to do this? I could also sort of connect these two roads together, which would be a really interesting one to have. Let's play around with that idea a little bit. I don't want to get rid of the berries. That's like the last thing I'd want to do, but I do like the idea of these roads being connected together. I think that'll be pretty good for us. We have this road coming through here as well. So let me just run a little path down like this and sort of curve you around. Does that look okay? That looks okay. I'm sort of willing to let that be a thing. We'll connect you over to the well, and then these guys are all sort of connected together anyway, so that's totally okay. Yeah, I think this is going to be our little space for some burgage plots, just to bring that population up a bit, just so we can get people working in this farmhouse. And that is going to be 9 burgage plots. That is a lot. That is definitely a lot. I think it's worth it though. I could bring it down a bit. I could come down to, you know, 8 burgage plots. I could come down to 7, and then some of them have expansion spaces. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them have expansion spaces. So that would actually be more people living in this area. I think that's what we're going to do. I think we go with the 7 plots. That'll be plus 7 people, and then we can add a plus 6 to that with the expansions to the land. So I think with these guys mostly all built, except for this one down here at the end, which is about to be built, I think what I'm going to do is spend some of the money that we have to start putting apple orchards at the back of these guys. I don't know how useful apple orchards are. I've never really played around too much with them. Although I do think, did we actually go ahead and get some over here? We did not. I actually didn't do anything with these, which is fair enough. I do want to get some apple orchards over here as well, but I want to play around with it a little bit, and I want to see what we can do with some apple orchards. They are a little bit expensive though, so I'm going to start with just 2 of them. And then what I'm going to do as well is go in here and say, oh, that's interesting. I can't expand that tile. That's fine. I'm also going to expand the living space here because I do want to get, I think we did what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plots. Adding 1 more person here is going to be enough to get 8 workers for this farmhouse. And I think what we'll do is add another plot right here so we can always have someone left over for construction. In fact, let's get a couple of someone's left over for construction. And then for the rest of them, you know what? Let's do 1 more apple orchard. Just the 1 more right there. That'll leave us 84 regional wealth so we can import a little something something. And then looking at our surplus as well, we do have 38 war bows. We have 78 large shields. So in theory, we should, and we are, I did saw a little bit of money there. We should be exporting a bunch of stuff. We have got 4 unassigned workers right now. Let's put them all to work in here. In fact, you know what? We have got, let's see, 102. We have 95 people. So we'll just let people move in and go straight to work at this farmhouse. And I think for this farmhouse as well, we are going to define a work area. And I'm going to say that it's basically going to cover all the fields over here and not the fields on the other side of town, which this might not be possible. I don't know if it, I don't know if it counts. You know, is it going to do this entire field, or is it only going to do the part of the field that's highlighted? I guess we'll find out is what we'll do. We'll just assign it like that and see if they just leave a little part of this field, you know, unattended. You know, now that I think about this whole trade setup, I almost wonder if it would have been better to just import wheat and rye, or if it would have been better to maybe import the flour instead of importing the bread. So importing bread is 14, which, I mean, yeah, okay. So we could import the rye for the wheat and the rye for 12, which would be cheaper, but then we have to process it. So that would be a way to save money. And we do have the capacity to process these things. Although in saying that, the bread import route is sort of just exists to have a surplus. The idea is that we're going to have enough production ourselves to not need to import this, whereas we would probably end up importing wheat and everything sort of more around the clock. I don't know. I mean, bread arguably would be the same thing. If we don't have enough wheat and we don't have, yeah, well, actually, if we don't have enough wheat and we don't have enough rye, we are going to consume those pretty much immediately and turn them into grain. So we would likely be importing those all the time. We would never reasonably have a surplus of that, whereas bread is sort of the final consumable, so we could have a surplus. I don't know. I might be overthinking it. I think we'll stick with bread. We have that route now. It doesn't really matter. I may be just overthinking it. I think I'm overthinking it. An enemy unit has been spotted and they are way up there. Okay, so that gives me a bit of time. That's totally okay. I don't think I need to rally my troops immediately, although they are very much on their way. So let's see what we can do. Let me rally you guys to here. Let me rally you guys to there. And let me rally you guys to there. And they're all set up to run, so they should be pretty quick, which is great news. Oh, the enemy's actually a little bit quicker than I thought they were going to be. Okay. Well, I think what we'll do then is line up my... I mean, this is a pretty good space if this is where we end up fighting them, which it might not be, but I'm going to line my archers up there. Grab you guys, line you guys up right about here. And we're going to hope for the best. We're going to hope that that's where the enemy sort of comes from. In fact, it might even be an idea to try and move out and meet them so that we can have my guys sort of stood here instead. And we'll see if that works out. So bring my guys up this way. The enemy is... they're moving. They're definitely moving. Let's see if I can bring my guys in a little bit closer. See if we can't maybe get them to... see if we can draw them in, basically. Which looks to be what we're doing. So let me just try moving. I mean, my archers are probably in a decent spot there. Move you guys to here. And we'll see how that goes. Move you guys to here. Oh, I don't really want you fighting in the woods. That's kind of... Oh, no. That's the last thing I want you doing. Reposition. There we go. That's what we're looking for. So a bit of a spread. And then my archers can sort of go here. And hopefully deal with those ones at the back. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Let me switch you guys over to shoot at will, because that's going to be better for close range. These guys are probably doing okay. I think the archers will be fine. The archers, we might lose one or two of them, but we should be all right. These guys are hopefully going to retreat anytime now. There we go. Let me sort of regroup you guys. If I can get the enemy to retreat. There we go. So the enemy's retreating, and then you guys have dealt with... Okay. So they all retreated. We did lose a few guys, but for the most part, we're fine. We'll head back to our territory. And I think that's good. We still have 2 months worth of food, which is a little something. It's not quite enough, but we haven't had them going hungry properly for a while now. So I'm actually kind of okay with that. 2 months worth of food. We're about a month and a half out from harvest, and we have 110, what is that? Rye in here, 37 in here, 48 wheat in here. None in there. It's not fertile at all. 30 wheat in there. We have 19 down here. We have 39 over here. That seems okay. That seems like a decent little setup. And we have this farmhouse almost full. So we're making pretty good progress. I think we're making progress. Hopefully, I mean, we have a bit of regional wealth as well. We have got an unreasonable amount of large shields and war bows in storage as well. So I'm really hoping we can export those a bit more regularly. We're not doing the small shields anymore, so we'll turn off that trade route, which is completely fine. And then, I mean, it does look like are these guys on the way in? Yeah. Okay. I mean, it might be the case that the region doesn't need that many of them. I don't know if that's really a thing. I'm pretty sure it is a thing, so could be the case that that's just what's going on. No one's really interested in buying them right now. And just as September rolls around, we have another harvest going on, which is absolutely fantastic. So hopefully all of this gets moved very, very quickly into storage. It does look like that's going to be the case. Hopefully it gets, threshed sooner than later as well, so we can go ahead and get all of that turned into bread. And looking down here, it seems like they're really taking their sweet time with this field. In fact, I've got to say, I have a feeling that all the guys that were working in here really aren't paying attention to the working area. So I'm just going to clear it and let them go wherever, because that's basically seems to be what works best. Oh, wait, no, hold on a minute. I think they might have just got to this field. I think I might have, You know what? It's fine. Oh, we just made a lot. We just made a lot of gold. That is not bad at all. I'll tell you what I'd want to do with that. I want to come down this way. I want to go to these burgage plots, and I want to get another orchard, and I want to get another orchard right there. So all of these plots, I think, are now set up to have apple orchards in the back. So we'll see how that goes. That might end up being a really nice supply of food for us at some point. That's definitely what I'm looking for. And then I also want to go into trade. I want to go to food, and I think I think I want to set this up to start importing other things. I think at this point we need variety in our diet. And I don't think we're ever going to get to a point where we're importing, you know, all of the bread that we could possibly want. But I think what I'm going to do is look to import berries, and I'm going to set each of these to just be a surplus of 100. That was not the button I wanted. The Control C to copy is also the button to toggle cinematic camera, so that makes sense. Oh, I can just like right click and copy paste. Okay, fair enough. Oh, Control. Okay. You know what? I'll just type 100. It's not a hard number to type. So we'll import the berries. I guess we can import meat as well until we have a surplus of 100. We can import eggs until we have a surplus of 100, and we can import vegetables as well. And I'm just gonna import all of them really, because we need that variety, right? I want to set all of these to import until we have a surplus, and ideally we're gonna get to a point where we don't need to import anything. I think it's just gonna be the safer way to do this, and I think what we'll do is set up a trade route for the meat importing, and I'd like to establish the rest of these as well. I think that'd be really important, but what we can do in order to do that is probably get our army and send them out to deal with this camp right here, deal with this camp right here, and this camp right here, and that's easily going to be another 900 gold for us. That's also going to lower the number of times that we're being raided and having things stolen. So if we can do that, if we can get that supply really nicely, it means that the food stall supplies will no longer, or should no longer, be an issue. And I'm also thinking that I mean, ale, to import ale is 18. That's kind of wild. If we go to crops, we can import barley for 12. And I guess materials, is malt considered a material? It's 14. I might do that. We might import the malt and save us a little bit of money. Or I might just import the barley. I think I'm just going to import the barley, and we're going to say the same thing there. We're going to set a surplus of 50 on the barley, and that's going to keep us a really nice sort of regular supply going on with that. And hopefully that means that we can have the brewery doing its thing, which means the tavern can do its thing. And as a result, that should keep the level 3 burgage plots happy, and that should allow us at some point to upgrade the level 2 plots as well. So looking at our supplies, we did have a really good amount of rye and wheat come in this year. We're already turning that into grain, which is fantastic news. And so hopefully it's not going to be too long until that starts getting turned into flour as well. We are down to 1 month's supply of food, which is a bit alarming, I'm not going to lie, but I'm hoping that we can start to, we have a lot of traders coming in there. So hopefully that's going to be, I'm guessing they just wanted to import things. I'm hoping we have some traders that sooner or later can go ahead and start to make us a bit of money. Maybe if we assign another family to this, we can start bringing in some more items for export, and that's going to get us some money there. Because ideally, like I said, it is going to be a balancing act between, you know, obviously we're wanting to import things to keep ourselves alive, but ideally we're just producing stuff. That's kind of where I'm at, is ideally we are just going to go around and we are going to make our own food. At the very least, no one's starved to death, so we have that going for us right now. And we did get the level 3 burgage plots, and we did get to level up. So if everything works out, if we can get this food stall supply sorted out, we can get a few more level 3 burgage plots, get this place leveled up, get the ox working out in the fields, and that should make things a lot more efficient as well. It's going to mean that we are plowing the fields faster, sowing the seeds faster, and then bringing the crops in faster as well. Now that is hugely important. Almost as important as the fact that we apparently have 0 months supply of food right now. Now that's really concerning. That is a lot of flour waiting in there though. So that's maybe part of the problem. 357 flour just sitting around right now. Why are we not moving that to the communal oven? We are moving it to the communal oven. I think we might just need more communal ovens. But I don't want to have to get more people, because we can't feed the people that we have right now. We have too many people. This is the recurring problem, apparently, is that we just have too many people, too many mouths to feed, and we can't feed them very well. I suppose the other option that we have at this point really is going to be to go out and deal with these bandits, get them done a little bit sooner than later, and that's going to give us a really nice boost to our money. So So let's start to rally the troops down here, and we'll send them out to deal with these bandit camps. And in theory, that will help resolve a lot of the problems. It's not going to resolve all of them, but it will resolve some. It'll give me money to import a lot of food as well. And it's also going to let me establish more trade routes, which I think is going to be really, really important too. So let's get ourselves a formation going here. We'll get you guys lined up a little something like this. We'll get you guys lined up in front once we get these guys actually in a line, which they now are. So we'll go from about here to about there. Should be perfectly fine. Maybe a little bit further in, something like that should be all right. So there we go. That'll give us a nice little formation. Grab all of you, and I want to send you all over this way. We're going to deal with this camp, and we're going to just gradually move north. They're also spaced out. That's kind of the problem. But what I think we can do is move my guys into here, and that's hopefully going to draw the bandits out. Oh, it looks like the bandits have noticed. They know something's up. They're heading through the forest. They're coming straight for me, which is absolutely fantastic. That's what I want them doing. They're not going to have a good time doing that, but I mean, we should be all right. Let's make sure you guys are actually set up to do what I want. You're firing at them, which is great. I mean, reasonably, I could enable my archers to essentially, I think there's an option to have them friendly fire, I'm pretty sure, but I don't really want them to do that. I would prefer they didn't. So what we'll do is just grab all of you, and let's send you up to deal with this bandit camp nice and quickly. And again, that's going to be a great source of income for us. That can go straight over to Nerdenfeld. So bandit camp has been sighted. If you guys wouldn't mind hurrying up and getting in here, that would be kind of great. There we go. So new message. We are going to send it to the nearest town. Let me just double check that it didn't. It's not a new bandit camp, is it? It is a new. Wait, it is a new bandit camp. Ooh. Okay. Well, suddenly that's good. We're at 156 regional wealth in Nerdenfeld right now. Grab you guys, and this camp's going to be difficult to deal with because it's just nothing but forest in between. Let's see if we can't maybe get to this spot before the enemy happens to notice us. We'll deal with these two camps, and then we'll head back to Nerdenfeld. I don't want to clear all of them out just yet. I don't want my soldiers to get too exhausted, but a little bit of extra money should keep us pretty good. It'll hopefully get us some extra food, and it does look like the bandits have noticed us. Okay. My guys are way too spread out right now. Let me just bring my archers back. I don't know if the bandits are going to follow me into a neighboring region, but we're going to find out. It does look like they're interested in doing that. So, I mean, to each their own, I guess. We'll just sort of let them do that. And I think what I'm also going to do is move my archers into a position like this, where they can hopefully continue to shoot at the bandits as the bandits attack my other guys. In fact, move you guys into this kind of position. And we'll see. Are they going for my archers? They are going for my archers. Move the archers. There we go. Oh, they're running. Okay. Okay. Well, that makes life a lot easier. Let's get this bandit camp out of here. Let's get the money for it. We are up to 2 months of supplies. We have 300 flour. We are making bread. We're hopefully going to import things. I actually want to have a very quick look at how much these different trade routes are right now. So looking at you, looking at trade routes, can we afford anything? I mean, the barley one would be great, but I don't think it's non-essential, right? I want to say the barley one is non-essential. All of these guys we're already working on, which is fine. We have a lot of shoes. We can export. Why are we not? It's 384 to export shoes. I think shoes would be an amazing commodity to get out of here because leather is a really readily renewable resource, right? Especially if we just build the goat sheds in the different burgage plots. That's just going to be hides. We just turn that into leather. The cobbler goes nuts with the shoes. Yeah, I think leather, or shoes rather, are definitely something to export. So send it to the nearest town. Let me pause. Let me send you guys back to town. So over to here. And once this doubles up, we're at 300 right now. I need the money to double, please, so I can go ahead and get my trade route for this. Assuming it looks like we have got some traders coming in, so I might be about to lose all that money. Definitely a possible 415. Okay, that's what I want. Let me go to trade routes. Let me go to commodities. Let me buy the shoes trade route. And I don't know how many of these we need. I don't know how. I mean, we have 350 surplus. 350 surplus. You know what? Let's keep 175 of those. We don't even know. This is surplus. Hold on a minute. Is it gonna, how many have we got in total? 446 pairs of shoes. That, I don't know if that makes sense, but you know what? You know what? Fair enough. Keep, let's do like 150 in surplus and we'll export the rest of them. That's gonna be such a good source of income. And you know what? How much is it for the, what do you guys got? You guys got goats? You guys got goats? Has anyone got goats? You guys have goats. Okay. Let me, so the tannery is right here. I didn't want to do that. That was not the button I was looking for. That was not the button I was looking for. You guys have a goat shed. How much is a goat shed? 25 gold for a goat shed. Okay. So I feel like we just go ahead and basically clear this and like turn this entire space. Wait, what did I just upgrade you to? Did I just upgrade you to level 3? I think I did. That was not the button I was looking for, but you know what? I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. Anyway, the point being, I want the goat sheds. We also have a lot of money right now. We have not enough wealth to do goat sheds, apparently, which I find hard to believe. There we go. So goats, you guys have goats. You guys are going to get goats. You guys are going to get goats as well. And you guys are also going to get goats. And that means the tannery, if we get more people working in here, can turn that into leather. And then the cobbler can go nuts, turning all that into shoes. And that seems like the way to go. That absolutely seems like the way to go. Anyway, it is now spring again, which is fantastic news. We have everybody out working in the fields to sow the seeds, which is fantastic news. We do have another level 3 burgage plot coming up, even though I didn't really mean to do that. But honestly, that's totally fine. That's completely fine. The blacksmith is now a level 3 burgage plot. Looks pretty good. If we can get another handful of those, we can upgrade the town again and get ourselves the ox working in the fields, which would be amazing. But it does seem like we're making progress. We have 3 months worth of food. We have 230 flour still in storage. We have all of that, therefore, to turn into bread. But I think we can leave that until next time. We are sitting with food right now in March, 3 months worth, with plenty more on the way. We're importing stuff, we're making money, we're exporting, well, we're exporting stuff and making money, we're importing stuff and spending that money. And so I think what I want to do is, in the next one, I sort of want to sit down and start moving a bunch of my industries out of this space into sort of a centralized industrial space. I know that doesn't necessarily make sense, but my thinking is if I have my traders and my tanneries and even my windmills and my communal ovens, if I have those all in sort of one space, maybe just sort of in this area, we can just position things like granaries and storehouses all around the town, and the people that work there can go and get the resources from the industrial space, bring them back to their buildings and then into the markets. And I think that's kind of how things work. I will say the communal ovens that we have just don't seem to be good enough. So I would really like to do something about that. But at the very least, we don't have as many people upset with us as we used to. In fact, we are supplying these guys with pretty much everything they could want. So it looks like we're slowly getting to a point where we can absolutely get ourselves more of these burgage plots, which I'm very, very excited about. I'm also thinking some of these guys, I don't necessarily want to give them more stuff like this. Bakeries would be amazing. Producing bread from flour with twice the efficiency of the communal oven would be amazing, but we need the heavy plow, and then we need bakeries from that. So that is something we can do. It's just we need to upgrade the town twice to get there. So we'll hold off on that. It's maybe a little bit of wishful thinking on that one. As for the rest of them, I mean, I don't think we need much else. We're down a little bit on planks, which is a bit of a concern. I think we're okay across the board for other upgrades just for the time being. So with that in mind, I think we'll leave it there for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.